Welcome everyone. Today we're walking through the From Rubble to Hope curriculum, our 4-week evidence-informed trauma support program. My goal in this training is to give you the tools and the structure you need to confidently facilitate this group. There will be 5 videos for From Rubble to Healing, this introduction video, and then each one of the 4 sessions found in the curriculum. Before I begin, I want to say this clearly. The best way to become a prepared facilitator is to first be a participant in the curriculum. If you haven't already taken part in a From Rubble group, I encourage you to have a facilitator you trust lead you through each session, even if it's just 1 week, before you facilitate it yourself. Experiencing the tools firsthand as a participant is incredibly valuable. I do realize that some disaster settings won't allow for this, and the need for trained facilitators can be urgent, which is why I'm making this video. But whenever possible, for you or anyone you're training, the strongest preparation for facilitating is to start by first being a participant. Okay, let's jump into why this curriculum exists. Most trauma curriculums are written for long-term recovery. They assume the participant is stable enough to reflect, journal, process memories, and engage cognitively. But in disaster response, your nervous system is dysregulated. You're overwhelmed, you're often running on adrenaline or shock. You don't yet have the emotional capacity to process anything. You sometimes just need stabilization and skills that help you get through the next hour. And I wanted a curriculum that didn't ignore that early window of vulnerability, when the body is reacting before the mind can catch up. So I created From Rubble to Hope for the acute phase of trauma, for disasters, displacement, conflict, crisis, for early recovery. A curriculum that uses simple, proven psychological interventions to help people integrate what is happening right now into their story to move forward in health. I wanted something that a facilitator without a background in psychology or formal trauma education could use anywhere, in a shelter, a church, a tent, a living room, and something a survivor can start using immediately. Even though it can be adapted for many contexts, From Rubble to Hope was born out of disaster response, timely, grounding, accessible, and stabilizing. From Rubble to Hope is a 4-week group-based program. It teaches 3 core emotional regulation tools: deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, and mindfulness, and supports healing through story, community, and simple structured activities. This is not therapy. It's not a clinical protocol. It will not diagnose or treat PTSD, anxiety disorders, or depression. Instead, it is evidence-informed support that helps survivors find grounding, connection, and hope. From Rubble to Hope is meant to be followed by From Rubble to Healing, an 8-week trauma narrative program. The 4-week curriculum stabilizes the participant, and the 8-week curriculum helps them gently explore their story using the grounding resources they learned in From Rubble to Hope. Now, let me explain how the curriculum is organized. From Rubble to Hope comes in 3 parts. First, the curriculum packet. This is your script and your instructions. It includes everything you say and everything you need to know. You can keep it digital or printed. Participants will never see this file. You'll notice that the curriculum itself is written in a very detailed word-for-word format. For some facilitators, especially the first few times leading a new group, it's helpful to know exactly what one could say and how to move from one piece or one activity to the next. For others, that level of structure may feel unnecessary or restrictive. This curriculum is designed to support you and not the other way around. You are welcome to read it as written, adapt the language, or use your own words, especially as you grow more comfortable with the material. That's also why these training videos are going to spend a considerable amount of time explaining the why behind each activity. When you understand the purpose of what you're doing, you can lead with confidence, flexibility, and authenticity, responding to your group and your context with wisdom rather than trying to follow a script perfectly. Okay, Second is the facilitator packet. This contains the visual aids you will hold up or show during each session. You'll need to print one copy before your first meeting. As you begin facilitating, keep in mind that this curriculum is not only designed to give people tools, though that is an important part of the process. It is also meant to help you build real relationships with the individuals in your group. People are carrying deep pain, and these sessions give you a natural, respectful way to enter their lives, support them, and offer genuine opportunities for care. At the start of the facilitator packet, pages 2 and 3, the participant overview pages, help you keep track of each person in your group, their names, maybe dates you visited them in their homes, and any next steps in your ongoing care for them. These pages are a visual reminder that your role extends beyond the weekly sessions. Your steady presence and compassion can play a meaningful role in their long-term healing, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Think of this curriculum as the beginning of a relationship, not the entire journey. Third is the participant packets. These packets include worksheets and activities you'll do in class, as well as homework. You'll need to print one packet per participant and give them out in session 1. Tell the participants to bring their packets every week. Okay, so when you're preparing to lead a group, you'll need your curriculum digitally on your phone or printed, one printed facilitator packet, and one printed participant packet per participant. Also included in the curriculum are 2 kinds of audio files. One that's required to use with the curriculum and one that's optional. The optional audio files you are free to use each week are the story recordings. Each story is available in Fusha Arabic and Lebanese Amiya in both a male and a female voice, depending on the needs of your group. There are also contextual versions for audiences who prefer to hear the prophet names familiar to them. These story audio files are optional. They were created at the request of native English speakers who wanted a fluent Arabic voice delivering the story. You're free to read the story yourself each week or use these files if you prefer. Totally your choice. The second set of audio files is a core component to the curriculum, and you'll need to access these files in the Google Drive. At the end of session 2, you will send the deep breathing audio file so participants can practice at home. And at the end of session 4, you will send the progressive muscle relaxation audio file. I'll remind you about those audio files again when we reach those training sections. There are some training guidelines on pages 3 to 5 of the From Rebel to Hope curriculum that you should read before facilitating a group. They cover logistics, flexibility, confidentiality, and caring for yourself as a facilitator. I won't repeat all of that here, but I do want to highlight a few key points. First, your role is not that of a therapist. You are not responsible for fixing anyone or getting everything perfect. Your job is to create a safe, supportive space where people can learn new tools, discover helpful thought patterns, and realize they are not alone in how they've been affected by hardship. That shared experience normalizes their suffering and helps them move towards integration and healing. Your primary goal is not flawless facilitation, it's love. The most transformative part of this curriculum has consistently been the sense of community that forms when people feel seen, understood, and free to simply be. Second, I want to talk about self-care. Working with individuals who have experienced traumatic events, especially in disaster settings where facilitators may have lived through the same events, is emotionally heavy. Make sure you have a friend, a therapist, or mentor with whom you can routinely debrief. In week 3, we discussed red light and green light coping strategies. If you don't already have some healthy ways of managing stress, identifying some daily practices that help your body process the added adrenaline and cortisol you will experience, you need to find some. If you notice yourself slipping into red light or maladaptive coping behaviors, pause your facilitating role and move into a place where you can receive support. Pay attention to your thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and physical cues, and stay vigilant about your own well-being. Now that you have the foundation of From Rubble to Hope, let's step into session 1 and walk through the story, the activities, tools, and the key things you'll want to highlight when you facilitate. Let's get started.